Today we're going to talk about fractions and decimals. Now remember to type in your box to the left on anytime I write an answer down. Okay, so when you talk about fractions and decimals, they can be converted to represent the same thing. A fraction and a decimal can be the exact same thing, they're just written in a different form. So we're going to talk about how to convert a fraction to a decimal and how to convert a decimal to a fraction. To convert a fraction to a decimal, you divide the numerator by the denominator. Now, to convert a decimal to a fraction, put the decimal over 1 and multiply the numerator and denominator by 10 until there is no longer a decimal in the numerator. Then reduce your fraction. We're going to go over several of those, so if you don't understand what I'm saying, that's completely fine. If a fraction converts into a decimal that eventually stops, we call that a terminating decimal. That means it comes to an end. Otherwise, if a fraction converts in a decimal with a repeating block, that means a repeating number or set of numbers, we'll call it a repeating decimal. So now we're going to talk about how to convert these fractions into decimals. Now remember, you do get to use a calculator. So what you want to do is divide the numerator, the top, by the denominator, the bottom. So you would type in 3 divided by 8. Now, if you're using a graphing calculator, you actually have to hit enter. If you're using a scientific calculator, you don't have to hit enter. So I'm going to hit enter, and there my answer is decimal 375.375 375 thousandths. So my answer is decimal 375 or 375 thousandths. 1/16. You would use your calculator again. 1 divided by 16, and I get 0.0625. Now, let's talk about these two numbers. Now, would we call these terminating or repeating? Did they come to an end? Yes. So this is terminating. Did this one come to an end? Yes. So this is terminating. All right. Let's talk about 5, 6. I'm going to do 5 divided by 6. Oh, clear. 5 divided by 6, enter. And you'll see I got 0.83. And then that 3 keeps going on. That's called a repeating decimal. And we show it with a little bar above it. Now, when you type your answer into your notes next, you don't have to show the repeating bar. Just type 0.833333 and make sure you put repeating underneath it. Now, 4/9. Let's do that one. 4 divided by 9 equals. So that is 0.4 repeating, and it is a repeating decimal. A really cool trick, if you know nines, the number on top is always what repeats. So 4/9 0.4 repeats, 3/9 0.3 repeats, 7/9 is 0.7 repeating. And let me show you again. 7 divided by 9, 0.7 repeating. All right, last one. Now, what can you tell me about this fraction first? It's bigger on top than on bottom. That's called a improper fraction. That means that you have a whole number in there or more than one whole numbers. So you still do the same thing. 13 divided by 4, enter, but you're going to have a number that is in front of your decimal. That's okay. Same thing. Now, did my fraction terminate? Or did my decimal, when I converted the fraction, terminate or repeat? It came to an end, so it is terminating. All right, that's for this page.